Right now in 12 News, let there be light. No new rolling power outages, but some may still have to wait for a bit in the dark. Plus, slipping and sliding, ice and snow creating challenges across the roads. And New Orleans may be having a quiet Mardi Gras, but we'll show you how they're still letting the good times roll. Relief finally in sight for Southeast Texans who are still in the dark, but not yet for drivers on the roads. Entergy telling 12 News within the last 30 minutes there will be no new rolling power outages. But right about 27,000 customers are still in the dark. At noon, that number was 42,000. Meanwhile, ice and snow-covered roads causing problems. A lot of scenes like trucks and ditches all across the area today. And I-10 nearly shut down today because of problems like this. So you can see straight stretches of the interstate are fine, but look at that icy overpass. Some semis had trouble getting over the hump, and we saw a lot of slipping and sliding today. And as we take a live look from the Roofing 911 Skycam network over the city of Beaumont, plenty of sunshine mixed with some bitter temperatures. We didn't break any records today, but boy, it was pretty close. And our Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn joins us from the Storm Tracking Center. Yet another wintry mix could be on the way, Patrick.
Yeah, for some, probably not for the entire area, but this just in, winter storm warning now in effect for Tyler, northern Jasper, northern Newton counties. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't see any freezing rain coming up tomorrow morning just north of the Triangle. So heads up from Silsbee back over to Buna, even Lumberton. Little, maybe nothing as far as accumulations, but it's going to be close. Any jostle north or south could be some pretty impressive winter implications. But again, a winter storm warning for Liberty, Polk, Tyler, northern Jasper, northern Newton counties, and a hard freeze warning in effect. That's where we stand right now. Roughly from Silsbee to Beaumont, Interstate 10, maybe, and that's a maybe, a few hundredths of an inch of freezing rain, and then maybe nothing. The real icing is going to occur towards the lakes area with a tenth to maybe 2/10 of an inch of freezing rain. More on that forecast coming up on 12 News.
Oh, some relief tonight for families without heat. Entergy says there are no plans for any new rolling outages, and crews are working around the clock to restore power to those as we take a live look at the Entergy outage map. Right now, about 27,000 customers are still in the dark. Jordan James spoke with Entergy earlier to find out how they decided which customers to cut power to.
For a while, it seemed like Southeast Texas would be spared when it came to statewide power outages, which has affected more than 4 million people. That all changed this morning when Entergy started rolling out blackouts, which has affected more than 42,000 people here in our region. The utility company says this directive is coming from its reliability coordinator who runs their power grid, Mid-Continent Independent System Operator. The decision was made as a last resort in an attempt to try to reduce energy usage. Statewide, more than 4 million Texans are without power as a result. Other energy providers are trying to ration usage as well. Today we spoke with Entergy about how they decided which areas to black out.
We go through and eliminate areas that would impact critical customers like hospitals that need to continue to operate. So once we pull those, we then have a list that we can kind of circulate through. So those are kind of how the decisions are made.
For those that do have power, Entergy is asking you to conserve your energy by avoiding using large appliances and consider dropping your thermostat. Entergy says you may experience multiple blackouts throughout the day. As of now, no timeline has been set for how long these blackouts will last. Reporting here in Orange County, Jordan James, 12th News.
Now, while so many customers in the Golden Triangle suffered without heat, customers in our northern counties are feeling very fortunate. Jasper Newton Electric has not implemented rolling blackouts, so most customers with that provider still have their lights on. One area northwest of Jasper has been impacted, though. 700 homes and businesses in Zavala are in the dark, but things could change for the Lakes region over the next few days. Jasper Newton Electric is on alert as the threat of another hard freeze looms. Thursday, the Lakes could see another deep freeze. Texas Republican Speaker of the House Dade Phelan is calling for accountability. He tweeted this, asking for a hearing with House committees to get to the bottom of the widespread power outages. Now, we made it pretty easy for you to stay on top of the outages and restoration times. Tell your friends who still may be in the dark to text LIGHTS to 409-838-1212, and we will send information right to their phone. The sunshine is our friend today as Mother Nature does her thing to help melt all of that snow and ice off the area roads. But with temps still below freezing, you can see there were problems and a lot of iced over roads and overpasses. And we've been checking on our friends in Hardin, Newton, and Jasper counties as well. The same issue. Some roads just slick from the ice melt, while others missing that sun kiss to help melt the ice away. Here's Kara Willis with an update.
Road conditions right now are pretty steady, and we're even starting to see a little bit of sun. As you can see over here to my right, there's even still a ton of snow on the ground. But because of that sun, as you can see below my feet, some of that ice is melting. Now, TxDOT wants to let drivers know if you have to go out and about today that the roads are still slick and dangerous. If you have to go out, you might even notice some of the traffic lights are out due to the power outages. If you come across a traffic light that's out, slow down, don't drive the speed limit, and treat it as a four-way stop to avoid accidents. Sarah Dupree from TxDOT wants the community to know that getting roads back to normal will take some time.
We're getting some questions when is, this road going to open up, or when are we going to have ice off of this road? When's the Rainbow Bridge going to open up? And the answer really is that we don't know. We're working very diligently around the clock to get things back to normal as soon as possible.
To monitor road conditions in your area, visit drivetexas.org. In Beaumont, Kara Willis, 12 News.
Now, while you are being asked to stay off the roads, if you find yourself in a life-threatening situation, there are emergency shelters that are open. Beaumont City Councilman Mike Getz sharing this photo of the shelter at Victory Temple, but he says it's almost full. Right now, shelters are open at the Islamic Society in Beaumont and the Salvation Army in Beaumont and in Orange. You will want to call ahead to make sure they have room to house you. And again, you are asked to stay off the roads, so only travel to those locations if you find yourself in an emergency situation. To Houston now, where the struggle to stay warm turned deadly. A grandmother and 3 of her grandchildren were killed in a house fire overnight. Firefighters responded to this home in Sugar Land near Houston near 2 in the morning. When they got there, they found the home completely engulfed. A woman and her 3 elementary-age grandchildren died in the fire. Investigators don't know yet what caused the flames, but the area had been without power for several hours.
They've been without power in this neighborhood for at least 8 hours. It's unknown whether or not they had started a fire in the fireplace or whether they were using candles. We just don't know what caused the fire right now.
Well, firefighters also treated the mother of the children and a neighbor for burns. A lot of burst pipes keeping plumbers busy. The freeze thaw happening now causing lots of homeowners dealing with busting a lot of pipes, causing many homeowners, if you didn't prep, it may be too late. And here's why. This freeze and thaw could mean problems for your pipes.
The reason that the pipes will burst is that right now they're freezing. That's expanding just like an ice cube, more and more. Then they'll freeze, and the pipe may already have burst, but it just is frozen. And then once it warms up, that's when you'll see it.
If your water pipe does burst, the first thing you'll want to do is shut off the main water line. And when in doubt, call a professional. If you don't thaw the pipe correctly, it can make things worse.